But this is a almost 13-minute video. Let's see how if we can get through it without too many interruptions. And I take full responsibility for the distractions. That's just the way it is, I guess. But I'm trying.
お帰りなさいませ。ご主人様、お嬢様。
Welcome home, masters and princesses. Okay, I need to address this because obviously a lot of BAND-MAID fans like to be referred to as maniacs. Someone just recently pointed out to me that they actually call their fans masters and princesses. So I'm going to start, doing that as well. I don't know what to do. I'm the noob here. So I'm just trying to do my best. But anyway, I think that's all I have to say right now.
バンドメイドのギターボーカルやってます。小鳩ミクです。ボーカル佐伯です。ギターのかなみです。
That was so serious.
ドラムのあかねです。ベースのうさです。安心ワールドはまだ見ぬ世界へっていう意味を込めております。To the 安心ワールドという意味を込めますと。
Cool. They have a sense of adventure. I love that. So basically their album title is like everything they haven't seen yet they want to see. I really hope they come to the US again soon and that there's some kind of VIP option on their tickets where I can go take a picture with them and maybe if things go well with Japanese even say a couple words. But that's just a dream right now.
原点回帰はまず私たち結成してからの最初の頃。
What? Okay, on songs with the Genten or Genten Kaiki. Okay, that must be Genten Kaiki concept. What does that mean? I have no idea what that means.
の楽曲の雰囲気になるように今の
All right. Someone let me know what that means. The Genten Kaiki, which I don't know. Okay. Anyway.
ように今の私たちがその頃の楽曲は制作は自分たち以外のね方にも。
Oh, is that one of their older albums? Because she said back then we had outside songwriters.
してたりとかしてたので、その頃のものを今の自分たちだったらどういう風に作れるかっていう風にしたものが原点回帰の曲たちになってます。原点進化は完全なる造語で小鳩が作りました。原点回帰に
Oh, is a word I coined? Genten Shinka?
回帰に合うような逆の言葉というか、今の私たち、これからの私たちにこうぴったりな言葉をなんだろうこうねってみんなで言って、じゃあ進化とかそういう言葉を使った方がいいから原点、今の時点からの進化、今の私たちと。
Okay, that looked like a current point. Okay, so Genten just means current point, like present situation. Is that what I'm... Excuse me. I think the chat's still catching up to where I am in the video. Catching up to my Genten? Is that it? Oh, okay. Genten Kaiki means roots or beginnings. Okay. And so the shin, what was the other word she used?
原点、今の時点からの進化、今の私たちと進化の私たちを見せられるような楽曲。
So her new phrase means like from here on, the future. Okay, I gotta come back to this. Someone said first 3 albums, more like long EPs, were not written by them, so the 4th, Just Bring It, was their very first own album. Okay. Genten is actually beginning a root. Okay. Thank you guys for helping me learn. If I ever have something wrong, don't be afraid to yell at me and make sure I get it right.
はい。全部個性が強くて面白いアルバムに
Each
仕上が
song
っている
has
と思い
strong
ます。
personality.
はい。今回は昔のバンドメイドの
I love
楽曲が好き
I love hi, Japanese for yes.
バンドメイドの楽曲が好きで見てくれるご主人様、お嬢様のためだったり、あとは今後もすごい幅広い
I love that they were conscientious of that, where they want to do things that they know their older fans will like, as well as attract new fans or people who, you know, want them to keep growing as a band. It's really cool that they put that much thought into it and are making music for their fans and not just whatever they want to do.
その世界観を見たいと思ってくださっているご主人様、お嬢様のためになるべく幅広く世界観が見える楽曲を
Very cool. That's very obvious in their music, or in the songs I've heard, having music that takes you to as many places as they can, because obviously there's so much variety in the style of their music, and I haven't heard two songs that sound the same yet. I think I mentioned this in the video that's premiering after the stream, but just every time I hear one of their songs, if I didn't know it was them and I wasn't familiar with the band, I'd have no idea it was the same band.
いただきました。なので、1曲から全部で14曲なんですが、全て
14 songs, very
楽しんでいただ
ambitious.
けると思います。ぜひご主人様、お嬢様が好きな1曲を
I wish every master and princess finds his or her favorite song out of them. Very thoughtful.
もう最初曲作ってた中ではこう原点回帰と原点進化と別に分けていたわけではないんですけど、インディーズの頃から応援してくださっているご主人様、お嬢様が好きそうな曲とか、ちょっと自分たちでも懐かしい香りがする曲ができていったりとか、でももっと自分たちの技術を深めたいって思って、どんどん難しくしていったりっていう。
New songs got more difficult to perform than the past ones. Yeah, that makes sense because I have never had such a difficult time playing something on bass as I did when trying to play Misa's bass in Warning. Like, nothing repeats, well, very little repeats, and everything is like expert level playing, especially the slapping, like during the guitar solo and even that little section of slapping in the second verse, and that's just the bass. So can't wait to start really diving into more, because yeah, as a musician, my mind is constantly blown by their skills as musicians.
原点進化の曲があって、それって自分たちから出た曲たちの色なので、自分たちが昔から応援してくださっている方々と最近知って応援してくださっている方々に平等に伝えたいっていうのがうちから出たものだと思うので、
Convey our music fairly. It's very thoughtful.
うまくまとめれたかなと思います。
今回も挑戦的な
It's cool to hear them talking about how proud they are of this particular album, because they did put a lot of thought and preparation, and I think that really adds value to the music. They didn't just, well, this is what we came up with, take it or leave it, this is us. They really put the effort in to crafting something special, which takes time and effort, and it just gives it so much more value, in my opinion.
楽曲が勢ぞろいです。バンドメイドの中で一番テンポが速い曲もあったり、
Fastest in the BAND-MAID catalog. I wonder which song that is.
また新たなバンドメイドの一面が見てもらえるんじゃないでしょ
New
うか。
sides of BAND-MAID
一
through
曲
the
一曲
song.
楽しんでもらいたいです。
I'm really curious about their past stuff, because I wonder if I would have been as enamored if I would have discovered them at the beginning as I am now. Because obviously they put all this thought into these songs on Unseen World, and they are just amazingly spectacular, well composed, so interesting to listen to at every turn. So I do wonder, like, if they would have grasped me as much as they have if I discovered them in the past.
そうですかね、みんなが言ってくれたように個性が詰まっていたり、その初期の頃からと今の私たちを好きでいてくださってるご主人様お嬢様皆さんを満足させるべく今回のアルバムができたなと思っていて、歌詞についても結構ストーリー性を今回は大切にして
So Miku writes the lyrics? I didn't know that. So Konami in general, Konami composes the foundation of the song, and then Miku writes the lyrics, and then everyone else kind of adjusts their parts to what they want them to be. Is that kind of how it is? I'm very 220 BPM. Dang. That's fast. Black Hole. Okay. Is that one on YouTube? A live performance? I've noticed that live performances are very, very difficult to find. Like, you know, the professionally made ones that they've released. But Vladimir Chupin, thank you for having so much up on your channel. I definitely want to get to that, if you don't mind.
いるので、おとぎ話だったり、なんかこう入り込めるようなちょっとお話チックな歌詞を意識して書いたりしてた。
So they were crafting a world and a story around the music? That's really cool. Again, something I'm very excited about for when, hopefully, if I stay consistent and work really hard, for the day when I can understand elementary Japanese and like really grasp the meaning of a lot of their songs, because their songs switch between English and Japanese, at least the ones I've heard. So I'm really looking forward to being able to understand them better.
感じで書けたかなって思ってるので、歌詞にも注目してもらえたら嬉しいなと思います。ノーゴットという曲の2サビ後の
Real quick, I'm going to move this alert box up to this corner here so it doesn't pop over the chat. All right.
そうです。結構面白く仕上がってると思います。
Her bass solo.
私はブラックホールです。この曲デモで
I love that they just went for it and threw bass solos in. That's when I first saw this band, just with no idea what they were going to do, just aesthetically, I saw these 5 girls dressed up in maid uniforms. I had no idea how freaking talented they would be. And the fact that they would throw a bass solo into a song, and they know how to keep their solos short enough to keep the song engaging and fun throughout, is very impressive.
最初に来た時についに来たかこんぐらいのテンポでこういうビートが来たかと思ったんですけど、なんとかレコーディングを乗り越えた時に自分の成長が一番感じられたので、とっても思い入れ深い曲です。
That is such a good feeling when you finally finish recording something that was such a challenge. And because when you're first crafting a song and you're not that familiar with it yet, you're still kind of crafting it, creating it, you can't be as familiar with it as years down the road when you're performing it live and you've been able to listen to the final product and remember all your parts well. When you're actually making it, it's like you don't know how it's going to turn out until it's done. So it's such a gratifying and satisfying feeling to be done recording a specific part in the song.
めちゃくちゃ大変です。
It's very, very hard.
盛り上がること間違いなしなので、早くライブ
If they think it's hard,
アフターライブという曲で、
then I have even more respect for them for actually making these songs, playing them live. Because to me, it looks so effortless when they're playing. They look like it's no problem, no big deal at all. But I'm glad to know that it is still a challenge for them to play it. Because that's what makes it fun, is challenging yourself.
ギターソロにスイープを織り込んだり、それもロピッキング
Sweep picking. That is probably the hardest guitar technique of all.
ぜひいろんな方にコピーしていただけたら嬉しいです。ワーニング。
Oh, what did she say? I would be happy if many of you learn this solo. That's awesome. Well, I can't do sweep picking. That's far beyond my capabilities. That's probably the one guitar technique like that I know I can't do. Maybe if I put in the time and practice to develop it, maybe someday, but it's so hard, you guys, to sweep pick. I wonder if there's any guitarists in the chat that know what I'm talking about. At least for me personally, that's been the most difficult technique to develop on guitar. Because it, sorry, my voice cracked. Because it takes precision to sweep pick. You have to pick and fret at the same time perfectly and mute the strings that you aren't currently playing, or else it just sounds like a mess. So, very advanced technique.
ワーニングがいつも別にかなみちゃんが作ってくれる曲はキーを伝えてこのキーじゃないと嫌だっていう感じで作ってもらってるわけではなくて、なんか私が歌えそうな。So,
Saiki's saying Warning is one of the hardest songs for her to sing, or the hardest song for her to sing on this album?
その中でもワーニングがキー的にテンポ的。
Okay, Warning was a particularly good fit for me in terms of key and BPM. Okay.
曲の構成的にも自分が歌いやすい曲でチュルッと取れましたけど
Recording session went smoothly.
要練習かもしれません。
I need to practice more for it, I think. Funny. That's the part that a lot of people don't think about, is how much time bands spend in the studio before we ever hear their music, how much time they're actually crafting the songs, how many drafts and versions songs go through before they're ready to be heard by the public. It's a huge process, and it's a lot of work, especially with the compositions that they make that are just so like something new at every turn.
オバトはそうですね、やっぱり自分のソロ曲というかソロボーカルでやらせていただいたさよなきどりですよね。前回のアルバムコバトソロがなかったので今回の
Oh, she has a solo vocal part in Sayo Nakidori? Is that some kind of variation of Goodbye, or is it just really close to Sayonara?
前回のアルバムコバトソロがなかったので今回のアルバム予約やっぱ入れれたので、でもびっくりするぐらい最後きついんですか。かなみ先生がとても高くしてあまりもコバトが最後変えてほしいって言ったらすんごい難しくなってしまったので、自分で自分の首を絞めてしまった楽曲なので。
So Konami wrote a difficult vocal part, and Miku was actually okay with her tweaking it to make it even more difficult? Is that what she's saying? I love to see that they're proud of their work. Shredding part. What song was that? Oh, HGK. It's nice to see the bandmates giving each other respect. Like Misa saying she appreciates Konami's shredding. And look at Konami's face. She looks so happy about that compliment.
ありがとうございます。変な声出ちゃった。今回の楽曲たちはバッキング、コバトパートのバッキングがめちゃくちゃ重要になっているので、
Focus on the backing parts.
コバト期待してます。絶対ね、重要な役割を
そうだったね。ちょっと
Cool.
難しく今回のアルバムになってるからと、先生頑張りますと。
Dude, as far as rhythm guitar goes, Miku's rhythm guitar is very interesting, very engaging.
先生のように。
Perfect
なんか
blend.
今回のアルバムが前作よりもギターの音とかフレーズがすごく華やかになったかな。
The sound and phrases of the guitar got more
め
gorgeous.
ちゃんいっぱい勉強したんだなって
Konami must just be loving this.
思いました。
Aw, is she like in tears right now? That's so cute.
意気込みをこれから行きましょうかポ。
みんなこっち見てる。先に
言いたいかなと思ったのポ。
私は技術も
This year I want to enhance my playing skill.
作曲も頑張りたくて
Cool.
作曲
Oh!
も頑張りたくて
Okay, this is what people were referencing when they were talking about Misa wanting to get into writing. Very cool. But dang, her bass playing is already so proficient and just so far above my abilities that it's crazy to hear her talk about still wanting to improve, which is amazing. Like, if you put the work in to get to the point that she already is, or any of these people already are, I mean, you deserve every bit of talent that you earn through putting that work in.
ギターももうちょっと練習して弾けるようになって
I'll say that's why I don't make excuses when when my abilities fall short of what I want them to be. I'll never make excuses. I mean, it's because I haven't put in that time and effort to actually learn the stuff that I can't do. So, I have no one to blame but myself if there's stuff I can't do. But at the same time, it is a lot of time and effort. And, there's a lot of things to put time and effort into in this world, in this life.
ちゃんとドラムの打ち込みベース弾いてギター弾いて自分でデモを作って
Ah,
みんなに
cool.
送って
So she's talking about building a demo, sequencing the drums, tracking the drums out, which people usually use like a digital audio workstation for, and then laying down her parts. That's really cool.
頑張って
It reminds me of that, and I'm not saying this as any kind of shade to Misa, but it just reminds me of that Family Guy skit with Ringo. Okay. I just gotta play it real quick. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking
Not
about.
like I'm Ringo.
Well, lads, what do you think of the new album cover? Great, but it won't look good when it's shrunk down for a CD. CD?
This isn't the part I'm talking about. Hold on. Sorry for this tangent. Okay,
Wait,
here it
This is
is.
a bigger waste of time than Ringo's songwriting.
Hey guys, I wrote a song.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, good, Ringo.
Fantastic.
You know what? I'm going to put it right here. Right on the refrigerator. That way we'll get to see it every day.
And again, that's not directed towards Misa at all. It's just a funny little, and I am turning my camera back on. Sorry about that. It's just a funny little, oh crap. Are we good? That stupid thing. That threw off my groove. It's just a funny little meme of a sketch in Family Guy that I always think of when in these situations when a member who doesn't typically write starts to write. And no disrespect to Ringo either, because I think he's one of a kind. The Beatles would have never been what they are without Ringo. Such a unique drummer. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up the drummer on YouTube, Sina, her video about Ringo. That completely changed my perspective on Ringo. Anyway, okay, back to this. Sorry for that tangent.
今年はまずは2月の武道館を大成功させて、さらにもっとも
Oh,
っ
they
と
played
大
at
きな
Budokan?
ステージに自信を持って演奏できるように出力もつけて頑張っていきたいと思います。いっぱいいろんな音楽も
Oh, wait.
自分の引き出
This
しを
was
増や
January
していきたいなと思っています。
Did that happen
まだ
yet?
まだ大変な時期が続いておりますが、少しでもご主人様、お嬢様にハッピーとか元気とかエネルギーとかいろんなものをこう
That's so sweet how much they think about.
渡せられればなと思っておりますので、これからも楽曲作り、それからギターの練習、それからバンドメイドでみんなで仲良く活動していきたいと思います。今年も頑張るぞ。
That's so cool that even upon releasing this huge album, she's still planning to keep writing throughout the year. Excuse me. A lot of bands will put out an album and then they'll take this long break from writing before they start writing the next album. And then they only write when it's time to make a new album. But in my opinion, that just kind of dulls your songwriting skills. But there's also an argument to be made that, you know, if you don't write for a long time, your ideas will be more fresh and whatever. But like Weezer, he's always writing songs. My gosh, how am I blanking? Rivers Cuomo, he's always writing songs. It's like a muscle to him. Same with Ben Gibbard from Death Cab. Like, they have specific days of the week they spend every week writing that song. And it's a double-edged sword, because then it can start to feel too much like a job, which it is for them. So I see why they want to view it as a job. But I guess my main point is it's cool that she's continuing to write even while they're not, or right after they release an album, because it keeps her skills sharp.
私は去年コロナ禍で思うように活動できなかったっていうちょっと
Gotta drink to that.
大変な時期だったんですね。大変な時期でこう好きに人に会えなかったりとか、ご主人様お嬢様とお給仕で会いたかったけど会えなかったりっていう1年ほぼ1年過ごしたので、マイナスな気持ちではないんですけど、そこから見つけたプラス。
That would have to be so difficult as a touring band, being forced to stay home. Because, like, for someone like me who, you know, like, still had to go to work because I was considered essential, not a lot changed in my life. But when you're a touring band like this, of course, I mean, all the things that changed in everyone's life changed. But as far as my daily routine goes, like, when you're in a touring band like this and you're used to traveling and being in these rooms filled with people and putting on concerts, that had to be such a difficult change, especially when they're in the middle of blowing up and, like, their career is really taking off and all of a sudden they can't go anywhere. And it kind of puts this halt on their career. Like, that would have to be so difficult. That first show is going to feel real good. So when did they play? Did they play at Budokan yet, or is that coming up? Maybe someone already answered that in the chat. I'm sorry I'm so behind, but I want to stay focused, and I will go through it when I'm done with this video. Oh! Psyche's practicing the piano. Very cool. That's really awesome.
やっぱりまずは武道館の大成功を収めでそれからやっぱり2020年中止になってしまった公演とかもあったので、海外も
You can really see the sadness in their faces when they talk
な
about
くなって
this.
しまったりしたので、今年は海外にも行けたらいいなと本当に思ってますと、日本だけでなく日本のご主人様お嬢様にももちろんあって、たまりにたまったエネルギーをお給仕で放出したいなと思うんですけれども、海外のご主人様お嬢様にも
Yes, please come
行けたらいい
overseas.
なって思ってますと。あと個人としてはギターももっともっとパワー
I'm telling you, if they come to Minneapolis, I'm going to get there at like 6 hours early so I can get in the front row of the general admission. Because that would just be too good of an opportunity to pass up.
アップ、いろんな意味でパワーアップできたらなっていうのと、ボーカルももっともっと
Ah, it's cool that she mentions she wants to take her guitar skill to the next level. Because it would be so cool to see Konami and Miku like guitar dueling or guitar harmony. And maybe they have done that and I just haven't seen it yet. But it seems like Konami does all of the lead guitar that I've seen. But it would be so cool like for them to do dueling guitars, harmony guitars, for Miku to like, you know, be a part of exchanging solos like when Konami and Misa and Akane are all going back and forth with their crazy solos. I haven't seen Miku actually do her own solo yet, but maybe I just am still haven't come upon that yet. Sorry, can't put sentences together today. Just one of those days.
やったらいいなって思ってますと、これからも世界征服をみんなで目指して突き進んで止まることなく、たまりにたまったものを爆発させる一日
Well, that's an
にしたいな
exciting ending to this interview.
それではご主人様お嬢様、今年バンドメイドは1年ね、
We've been like compressed springs for a whole year.
2020
Yep.
がそれを飛躍的に
It's very well said.
広がる1年にしたいと思っておりますと、ご主人様お嬢様もたまりにたまったパワーをバンドメイドにぶつけにぜひ来ていただければなと思いますと、私
Come to the show and vent your energy at us. That's so cool. I love how, even though they call their concerts servings, like they're serving us, I love that live shows in particular, you can feed off of energy both ways. That's so cool. Oh, there's still... Oh, okay, it's just an end screen here. That was so informative. I feel like I really learned a lot. Okay. Thank you all so much for keeping the chat alive. Oh my gosh.